Hello and welcome to Longship Gaming. Today we are playing EARTHBORNE Rangers. It's a brand new LCG style game from some of the developers of Arkham Horror and Marvel Champions. Newly delivered through Kickstarter, finally. Should soon be available in retail. I'd check your local retailers or online for it. What's it about? Well, you play a newly trained ranger, basically a person who is mandated to travel around a vast valley in the post-apocalypse, protecting the wilds and the people that live within the valley. And you, in your travels, discover technological wonders and natural wonders from the worlds before, thousands of years of history. And it's played as an open world campaign game. So we have our valley map here, so you can see it's pretty extensive. There's some major locations where there's settlements and there's more wild areas. For the purposes of what we're playing today, we are going to be doing the initial sort of prologue. Every ranger starts out the same way with their initial mission, which is traveling, basically finding some objects here in Lone Tree Station where we start off, and making our way over here to the settlement called White Sky, near this lake. So we will do some mission, or do a mission within Lone Tree, and then do some travel on to White Sky to finish up that mission, because it consists of 2 parts. And then the campaign is organized in, it's basically 30 days. And you have your campaign sheet, which notes, of course, the days that you're going through the game, notable events that occur within the campaign book. So there's a fair amount of reading. So a warning here ahead of this. There will, of course, be spoilers because we're playing through the campaign solo. You have a place for your ranger's name, so I chose Manix for my ranger. I'd watched the show previously, thought it was a cool name, dropped an N. If anyone in the comments can tell me what show that's from. And I've just already pre-written what our initial mission is. I've done some of the layout here already of what we're going to be playing, but I'll explain that when we actually get into the gameplay. And then you have other entries here for rewards you get for completing certain missions, what missions you actually may be on and progress through, what day you started them on, and of course notable events that occur that can influence things later in the story. So the good thing about this game is that you can build your ranger from the ground up if you have an idea what their personality and so on might be. So it consists of generating a deck of 30 cards. First, you select your aspect. So what we have here, this card is our aspect card. There are a lot of different permutations of this aspect card, but you're always going to be strong. So you have a starting 3 in one area and weak in another. So we have a 1 in our spirit. So we have a 3 focus, a 1 spirit, 2 awareness, and 2 fitness. Now what they suggest in the rule book is if you're playing solo, don't have a fitness lower than 2, because it's very important to be able to get through the world. You also have some the round structure and common tests that you're going to be performing all the time as your ranger. Just as a reference, we have those out here. Next, you choose the role and one of these specialization cards. So I've taken an explorer, which makes sense because you're out in the wild exploring things. The whole game is all about exploration as an open world game to see what's new out there. And each one of these roles has a special ability. So in this case, it has exhaust. When you perform a test, dodge 1 card. So again, we'll get into that when we're in gameplay. We'll take it slow for this first session, or first day, basically, to explain some of the core game concepts. So we have our explorer, and then we also choose our personality, and I can't remember now what I chose. It was Shepherd. So the idea was that even though we're not great at Spirit, which has a lot to do with connecting with others, we do have enough of that we sort of get along with animals better. So it befits, I think, a character that goes out into the wilds on their own. So when you're constructing your deck, you are restricted to some degree with how good or how powerful a starting card can be by your rating in that particular statistic. So, for example, I can, for this Hidden Trail ability here, it's a 3 focus. I'm at 3 focus, so I can take that as an ability. So you basically choose a number of cards from the starting cards that are available. So you have basically attributes you can play. But these are like resource cards in Marvel Champions. You can treat them that way. Each one of these symbols here along the side, if a particular test is calling for it, then you can apply these cards by spending them out of your hand. So that's reason, that's connection, then we have conflict, and lastly, exploration. And you basically select a number of cards from each one of them from your role and your personality. And then you get 2 more cards from another role. And I chose 2, it's basically called an outside interest. So I chose 2 here from the, where did it go? From Forager. There we go. 2 more of these moment cards. Moments are like events that you play when usually when you're playing through a test. Just to say what we have out here, so this is our challenge deck. Challenge deck is the modifier, so when we're spending our resources here to take a test, we're flipping from the top of that. Each one has a challenge effect depending on the icon that's on the bottom that can affect things that are in the world. So, for example, the perfect day has the mountain as a challenge effect. If I flip one of those cards, it would trigger the mountain effect, which is very beneficial for us. The mountain effect is great on a perfect day. Forgot to put our counters on there. And the weather can change throughout the campaign. And these cards themselves do flip back and forth, but we'll get to that. This is our surroundings. It's where we're starting out, our starting scenario. It's in Lone Tree Station, but I'll get to that. And I have this mission out as well, but we're not going to worry about that for now until we get into actual gameplay. And this is our path deck. So to give you an idea of the areas that we have in the game, this is basically where we put all our ranger cards. This is going to be our deck. This will be our discard. And this will be over here our fatigue, where cards go face down. So how we finish a game is either we choose to camp, if we just don't want to go on any further. We are too fatigued to go on, meaning we can't draw any more cards from our deck. Or one of the people that we have encountered in the world, unfortunately, got too harmed by things that are out in the natural world. So we have to rest because that's not what... we can't continue when we failed someone in the valley. So there's going to be lots of characters that we're going to meet. So then we also have different areas. So up here is, of course, our surroundings. Think of it like you're in the area. Here in this middle section, or right below that, that's going to be the along the way. So things that we see coming up that can impact us. And then we have within reach, which is going to be this layer down here below that. And those are things that are right up in our face. Like it could be predators. It could be hanging out with friendly people who are part of the valley and so on. We shall see. So we are going to get shuffled up and we'll be back with day 1 of our Earthborne Rangers campaign, where Manix is ready to go out into the wild to experience firsthand what the world has to offer. We will be right back. All right, we're back. We're shuffled up. We've got everything's set up for play. We've got our starting 6 cards. So we've got Persuasive, Walk With Me, Paratrepsis Whistle, Calming Presence, Inventive, and Inventive. Okay, so now we're starting Manix's adventure in the valley. Cresting the gentle grassy hill, you see the unmistakable silhouette of Lone Tree Station rise out of the highland plains before you. Lone Tree Station is aptly named. Here's a lovely picture on the card, what it looks like. The single massive giga redwood towers above the hills and swaying grass that surround it. You can just make out eaves and balconies among the gnarled bark, doors tucked into winding roots, and hanging gardens suspended from branches. As you draw closer, a woman in a freshly pressed cloak steps out from the main entrance and waves. Calypsa, your mentor for the past 9 months, strides towards you with a man who looks just about your age at her heels. "Hello," she calls out. "You made it. Just look at you." She clasps your hands, her smile warm and her grip firm. "I'm glad to finally have you here," she says. Then she turns. "This is Cal Ivor. I trained Cal last year, right before I started training you." Cal Ivor gives you a nod in greeting. "A pleasure," he says. Calypsa heads back to the station with you and Cal in tow. She speaks back over her shoulder. "Please make yourselves at home, explore the hanging gardens, find Spirit Speaker Nell and Cordo, and strike up a conversation. Get to know the place. After you spent some time here at the station, you should head over to White Sky," she says. "In fact, Hal Pimpot has some juniper biscuits baking right now. His food is legendary around these parts. Once the biscuits are ready and you've had a chance to poke around, take a parcel over to White Sky and offer them to the people you meet. It's been at least a year since our neighbors have enjoyed the company of rangers bearing treats." She turns to look at Cal. "What do you think, Cal? Good way to get started?" Cal grins at you in a way that you can't quite describe as a sneer. "Handing out baked goods, I think that's perfectly suited to their abilities," he says. He's trying to bait me. So we choose. Tell Cal what he can do with his condescending attitude or ignore him. I'm rising above such things. I'm not taking any guff from him, so I'm just going to ignore him. Calypsa shakes her head and laughs. "Oh, Kai, you're not long past delivering biscuits yourself. It's tradition, after all." Write "impressed Calypsa" on the campaign tracker. So, impressed Calypsa. Okay. Calypsa turns to you. "Cal and I are heading out into the valley. We'll be on shadow patrol. That is, we'll never be too far away from you for the next few weeks. You shouldn't need our help, of course," Cal says. "I can tell by looking at you that you're more than capable." Oh, okay, so now he's friendly to us. "Farewell for now," Calypsa says, and starts down the eastern path away from Lone Tree. "Spirits guide you. Follow your instinct." She and Cal walk steadily out of sight. Okay, so we need to explore our surroundings. We need to explore Lone Tree Station, find the baker, get the biscuits, and move on to White Sky. So, as part of our setup on our card, search the path deck for the next predator and discard it. And then we draw a path card. So, this means we go off the top. I swear I shuffled this. There we go. Okay, so there's Prowling Wolfhound has been discarded. Now we go looking for high. Oh, we have to deal ourselves a card, of course. Overgrown Thicket. Feature Flora Obstacle. So we can't travel until we get rid of that. But we can use Awareness plus Exploration to hunt for a way through it. Okay. So yeah, I'm holding on to this. This is fine. So now we're going to start of the turn. Draw a path card. Oh, well, there's another wolf hunt. So we have a predator circling us as we're looking around. Well, I think what I'm going to do about that is I'm going to turn off his predator ability. We use our awareness to search the path deck. We'll take a fair amount, unfortunately, of fatigue here if we do that. Or, no, we have to hunt. It's not really a traverse. Well, first thing we're going to do, we're going to put out our whistle. That helps us not take any damage. So exhaust when a ranger would suffer an injury from a predator, or harm would be added to a being by a predator, cancel that effect. So I don't know if I'm going to use Calming Presence here. I don't think that's all that important for us. We can only contribute one awareness. And then we won't be able to do any searching in the deck. So what should we do here? Could walk with me. Nothing here uses our focus. Okay. We can dodge the wolf hunt using our ranger ability to try and get rid of this thicket. So I think in this case, rather than using the hunt ability, we're going to use the basic traverse ability. Let's see. Add to a location or feature. It's a feature. Okay, good. We have nothing else to do with our fitness, so I'm going to commit our 2 fitness to traversing. We don't have any cards to add to this, so as long as we don't get a -1, we can clear the thicket. And we got a -1, so of course we didn't. However, okay, so something interesting is going to happen here. Oh, yeah. So we did not succeed in that. We only put 1 on it. And then we go through our challenge effects. If this is added progress, add an additional progress. Okay, so that's going to clear it. And that's going to clear it before this discard happens. So that's good. So luckily, because it was a perfect day, we're actually able to get rid of this. We would take fatigue. We actually would take fatigue ahead of doing that test, but we're going to cancel that by using our seeker ability. We will take some fatigue here probably, because now I'm actually going to do the awareness search. And we're going to contribute 2 awareness plus 2 from our hand, so we can search the top 4, or scout the top 4, well, depending on what we get as a result here. So we're contributing 4 effort, so 4 is going to trigger. Okay. So now we get to search, or scout, I should say, the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, she shouldn't be in there. That's from a previous accidental playthrough. Okay, we're putting these two on the bottom. We're going to put Cordo on the top. And then we draw. So now we have Cordo, the Ranger veteran, with us. He's friendly. We should read his entry as it came into play. And of course, we will take 2 fatigue for doing that test. Oh, and we have to do the crest ability. Well, first we'll read this, then we'll do the crest ability. Okay. Glad you made it through training. The grizzled man sticks out his hand and shakes yours firmly. The name's Cordo, in case you forgot. I understand you have a lot of new faces to take in. So we need to clear him to speak with him further. Okay. But first of all, we're going to trigger the crest, which now goes in this circle. Now he's in play. If there are 2 or more active predators, there are not. If you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaustless beings suffer 1 injury. Luckily, we only have 2. So we're safe there. We have no fitness to hunt with him. We do have some spirit to connect with him, which I think we might as well try. Well, no, we need a +1. And we have no further cards to play with. Well, I mean, we can try. It's not going to hurt us any to do it, so. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a +1. No, we didn't. Okay. So, we contributed 1. We didn't make the target, so nothing happens. Now we go through the sun effect, and we're going to have to reshuffle. So if Quizzyvoss is not in the path, discard, she is drawn. Okay, so now she comes out. Quizzyvoss, rascal. So she is a curious kid who just wants biscuits. Can you tell I've gone through this prelude a number of times? I'm used to her showing up. Okay. You feel a tug on your backpack and see a young girl suddenly walking beside you. Hi, she says. Do you smell something? Is High Pinpot baking his famous juniper biscuits? Can I have one? Which way to the kitchen? So we need to basically say, hey kid, you're bothering me. Go find our friend. Okay. Well, we need to clear her. So luckily, one thing about her is she's fatiguing, but she's friendly and persistent. So she will continue to follow you from place to place if you don't clear her. So we have enough focus here to try and clear her. And she has a 3. So inventive's actually not going to work too well for us here. So we're going to commit our last 2 here. Let's try and put some. Oh, I had to reshuffle this. She has target of 1. She has a 3. Progress to clear her. So one question I have about Quizzy is you look at her art, and she's got some kind of like cybernetic hand. So what happened to this kid where she lost her hand? clearly she gets into too much trouble. And right now we've got a wolfhound prowling around. So, yeah, so we're committing our 2 focus. I don't have any more connection. So let's see what we get. If we get a +1, good. Hey, look at that, we did. Okay. So that's going to clear her first. Should leave it open on these back pages. Is she cleared? Yes. 91.8. In your time together, Quizzy's made a game of scouring Lone Tree Station for clues as to the kitchen's whereabouts. It's a really brief time. Eventually, the scent of High Pin Pot's biscuits grows stronger, and Quizzy cheers. Yes, 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 delicious biscuits, here I come! And she runs off. So we soothe 2 fatigue and discard Quizzy. Okay. See ya. Then we're going to... oh, I always forget. So it actually goes in... Oh, it's in the same area, so we wouldn't suffer any fatigue from that anyway. We draw our 2, so we get Bold and Walk With Me out of our fatigue stack. Does the crest trigger? No and no. Okay. Well, we spent everything we possibly can, so now it's time to refresh. Get our tokens back. Some of the clouds start to dissipate. We draw a card. We ready? Deeper understanding. Okay. And we draw a new path card. It's a caustic mulcher. Oh, that's nasty. That's like the alpha predator of this area. That is, well, it's not even it's a being, it's a biomeld. Has a threshold of 3 beings attached to this being do not ready. So we could get grabbed by this thing if we're not careful. And slowly digest it. It's like a sarlacc. Ugh, okay. Well, maybe if we get unlucky here, maybe it'll grab the wolfhound instead of us. Okay. What do we want to do here? We could hunt with Cordo and hunt the mulcher because it's very dangerous. And we might be able to clear him as well. Because searching is not great for us because there's so much fatigue in the way right now. There's 5. So I think our best bet is to clear Cordo. Can we do anything else here? Not really. All right. So we're going to hunt. So we're going to commit 2 fitness. Plus our 1 persuasive. So we're committing 3 effort to this. Target is 2. Ugh. Wow. All right, sure. So we pulled the -2. So we fail that. So nothing happens, and we get the sun. All right. Well, this is not going well. So no trigger here because Quizzy's already in the discard. If there's another active being, exhaust it and attach it to this biomeld. So we're going to have the wolfhound get snatched up by the mulcher. And that's it. Well, that wasn't great. But that does allow us to try and do a search now. Because we can dodge the mulcher. So we're going to try that. Let's commit. Oh no, we have to shuffle. So we got the -2. So it's a lot like Gloomhaven that way when you get the crit hits or crit misses. So let's go scouting. Now that we can dodge the mulcher. Okay, so we're going to commit a lot to this. We're going to commit Deeper Understanding, Walk With Me, and spend 2. So we're committing 4 effort. So 4 effort. So a grand total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's high. That's good. Everything else is going to go to the bottom. And we're going to draw high. That's good. All right. So now we're going to take some... oh, I don't know why I shuffled that. I meant to put those on the bottom. Oh well. Habit. I don't think it's really going to matter since we are going to try and travel away from here right now. Oh, we don't have any fitness left to do that. Okay. That's fine. It was a buck, a wolfhound, and a thicket were the things that I meant to put on the bottom. So we're going to shuffle this up. But we know that those were the ones that came up, so they can go on the bottom. Okay. So yeah, we're not going to be able to traverse this turn. Oh, I forgot, of course, to read High's entry. One thing I would like, maybe in future printings or expansions or whatever, that this entry in the campaign book, I would like that to be a little stronger printing. The yellow on beige background doesn't really stand out. It does, sometimes I miss it. Okay, 91.3. You come across a massive pile of diced and sliced vegetables, roots, and tubers. Occasionally, more slices fly through the air to land on top of the pile. Back already? The voice says from beyond the vegetable pile. I told you there's no silverfin curry to be had until the fish is marinated for at least 3 hours. A head pokes out from behind the pile. Oh, it's you. I thought you were Elder Thrush. She gets so impatient on silverfin curry day. Calypso sent you for the biscuits, eh? They're just out of the oven. Let me know when you're ready to leave, and we'll get you and those biscuits to the good people of White Sky right away. Okay, so we need to travel away from here to complete this first part of the mission. But we can't right now. We would suffer fatigue, but we are going to dodge the mulcher for having done the search. Does the mountain trigger for our challenge effect? No. Okay. So now we have no choice but to rest. And to draw. Clouds go away, drop half card. It's a Sitka buck. It's a being, prey, mammal. Threshold, or a presence of 1, a 3 harm, and a 5 progress. Okay, so we're looking to travel now rather than do much of anything else. Is there anything else that we can do? We'll take a bit of fatigue, but not a lot. So, yeah. We need to commit a good amount here. I want to be able to travel, so we're going to commit bold 2. So that's 4. As long as I don't get the -2, and of course there's only 1 in there. Okay. -1. Okay, good. So we committed the right amount. All right, so now we're committing, we put 3. Want to be able to travel. We're going to dodge the mulcher, but we will take 1 from the Sitka. And triggering mountain. 1 more is going to go onto there. The buck, if there is an active predator, exhaust it. Okay, the mulcher is not one. Then add 2 harm to it, then add 1 to this being 1 harm. Okay, so nothing happens here. Okay. So, yeah, we've cleared that. We don't really have anything else to do. We can't hunt with Cordo. We could try and connect with him, but there's no way that we're going to, unless we get a +2 on the flip, to be able to actually clear him. And it's probably not worth the risk of what would happen the rest of this. So I think we're just going to leave that there. And we are going to travel. So, travel away from Lone Tree Station. Back to 1.01. High Pimpot places the last juniper biscuit into the basket and hands it to you. There's no better way to begin a friendship than with a freshly baked biscuit, he says. The people of White Sky just love meeting new rangers. They always come bearing treats. High Pimpot winks and takes a biscuit for himself. I mean, chef's treat. He did make the thing. You shoulder the basket and walk down the trail towards White Sky. As you do, the enticing aroma of the biscuits wafts up from the basket. You remember that you haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Your stomach growls. Surely they won't miss 1 or 2. Okay, so we flip this. We get the basket. It has 3 biscuits in it. So we do a spirit plus connection test of 2 to give the biscuit to a human that does not have a biscuit on them, and put 4 progress. So our goal now, because we are traveling away from Lone Tree Station. So what we've done in the order here, we've taken a range of turns and we've decided to rest. There's nothing else we can do. Then we're going to travel, which we've put enough progress onto that to traverse it. Then what we need to do is put together the next path deck. So we're going to take where we're going is from Lone Tree Station over to White Sky, which means we go along the lake shore. That's the next path deck we assemble plus White Sky. So we're going to have to assemble these ones and then complete our refresh as we would normally. So I'm going to do that off camera, and we will be back with the next stage of our mission, moving from Lone Tree to White Sky. We'll be right back. Okay, we have traveled to White Sky. So as you can see here on the map, I think I mentioned this earlier, we now add the Lakeshore and White Sky path together. And we arrive at our new destination. From your vantage point, you can see much of the southern shore of White Sky Lake. from the froth of rapids at the head of the Silverfin River to the mix of rocky promontories and pebble-strewn beaches that slowly curve around towards the opposite shore. There, you see the village of White Sky and the tiny forms of villagers going about their business on the platforms and docks. So now we have to move around in White Sky to find 3 people to give these biscuits to. First of all, of course, we have arrived, so we draw a path card. It's going to be a romping latrinal. It has ambush, so it's going to cause us a fatigue right away. Presence of 1, harm of 2, presence of 5. It's like a kind of like an otter-like creature. So that's our first encounter here. And of course here is a picture of White Sky. So it's a number of suspended platforms in the middle of the lake. So we can do the same thing with it as we did with our previous location. We can use that to search. But of course we have this latrinal in the way. Now that we've done that, we're at the refresh stage. So we get all of our energy back. We have to, after we travel, we have to do our refresh. Now it switches to the midday sun. So now there's a chance when we pull up the the sun challenge effect that we might suffer some fatigue. And we draw a card. Thorough. Okay. And start of the turn, of course, draw another card. So tributary stream. Feature water obstacle. Presence of 1, harm of 4. Don't know how you harm a stream, but okay. And of course you can put your ranger token there. To soak your feet. To soothe fatigue equal to your effort. Or follow it and add 1 progress to a location. Well, we're not looking to move on from here. We're looking to try and find people to give these biscuits to. So, the problem with that, of course, is that we don't have anybody yet. We don't have any extra cards to be able to play, to use connection for searching, but it might be worth trying to do it anyway. We pulled a +1 card last time, so it's unlikely we're going to pull another one, and we can dodge some fatigue when we do this. Yeah, we don't really have much of a choice. So we're going to commit 2 awareness to this check. Okay, so that's 2. We've been successful. So we can search the top 2, or scout, I should say, the top 2. So Tidewater Muckets and Vera. Okay, so we're going to get Vera. Put her on top. The Muckets, which are like oysters, can go on the bottom. And then we get Vera the Lake Guide. Okay, that's good. So now we can... oh yeah, of course we took 2 fatigue. I'm going to dodge 1 of them. So, Vera the Lake Guide. I have to go back to 91. There we go. Oh, or not. 49. I think we actually go to her entry then. There we go. 49.1. A massive muscular arm drops over your shoulder, and you find yourself face to face with a tall woman wearing a thin smile. Hello there, the woman says. My name's Vera. I make supply runs all over the lake. She sniffs. Something in your bag sure smells good. Mind sharing? Okay, so it says we can clear her with progress to charter her boat to immediately travel to any location on White Sky Lake, but that's not what we want to do. We want to give her a biscuit. So that's going to be difficult. Well, if we get a +1, well, let's resolve what we need to resolve here first. So we got the sun icon, so we suffer another fatigue. No sun icon here. If there's another romping latrinal in play, it frolics, so there is not. This is going to reshuffle right away. I mean, we might as well try and give her one. But we need a +1 to be able to do it. Will we get lucky? Who knows? Will we be profoundly unlucky? Again, who knows? Okay, so we're going to spend our 1. We need a +1 here. Nope. That's fine. We failed it. Let's see what the crest does. If there's an active predator, exhaust it and add 1 harm equal to its presence. So Vera gets... Oh no, we can avoid that from happening. So we can use the whistle. To use the call to stop her from being hurt. We distracted the animal from hitting our new friend. And because it's exhausted, its effect isn't going to go off. Is there anything we can do? Not really. We don't have the resources for it. Okay. So we are going to rest. Get these back. 1 goes on here. It unexhausts. We draw a card. A deeper understanding. That's good. And then we draw a card. Oh, we need to unexhaust. So it's another tributary stream. All streams lead to White Sky. But can it help us deliver biscuits? Seemingly not. So we're going to have to use our deeper understanding. Use spirit. So now we're at a 2 effort. So as long as it's not a -1, good. Okay, so we are successful in this case. So 4 progress goes on to her, which is going to be enough to clear her. We'll lose a token. There we go. Okay, so we resolve her. You move down the shore and find Vera cleaning the deck of her longboat. She looks up and sighs. You ready? Okay, so we're not taking the boat. We can. So we gave her a biscuit. She's happy about that. If you choose not to travel, discard Vera and resolve the remainder of the test as normal. Okay. So we discard Vera. She's got her biscuit. She's happy. Well, I mean, she doesn't sound happy. Don't think she was so happy to try and take us on a little trip anyway. So we do sun, so we suffer fatigue, of course. If there's another trinal, then it goes out and plays, but there is not. Nothing much else we can do. We don't need to clear anything. We're just looking for people. Okay. So we're going to have to rest. That comes back. We're going to rest and then go on to refresh. That goes on to here. We draw a card. Hidden Trail doesn't really do us any good. And draw a card. Hey! Artel the Angler. 48. And we have the biscuits. Go to 48.1. What's this then? The voice seems to come out of nowhere. Then you look up to see someone standing on a rock overlooking the water. Those smell like High Pimpot's famous juniper biscuits. You barely have time to notice that the person has a fishing rod before it flicks out and the hook catches on the handle of the basket. With a practiced flick of the wrist, the basket now sits in front of the angler, who eyes the biscuits greedily. May I? I haven't had a bite all day. Haha. Fishing joke. Okay, so we don't have any extra focus to throw at this, or any cards to be able to throw at, so we're just going to have to use our energy and hope we get a +1 to give him a biscuit. Hey! Very lucky. Okay, usually not that lucky. All right, so we put the 4 progress on him, which is more than enough. I guess we could have... Oh no, yeah. Soothe 2 fatigue and add 1 token to each equipped food. We don't want to do that because we want to give away the biscuits. We don't want more biscuits to come back in. Okay, so that's going to clear him. $48.6. Artel Harums. Not sure what it is, but the fishing's been terrible for weeks. I think something spooked the fish in these parts. I can feel it. The angler appears contemplative for a moment. Actually, I've been hearing tales of some amazing fishing spots across the lake at Golden Shore. Maybe all the fish moved up there. Would you be willing to accompany me? I'd sure appreciate the escort, what with the fish spooker hanging around somewhere. Well, I think my plan is to camp after going through this whole mission. So I don't think I'm going to take him up on that offer to go around to the fishing spot. So I'm going to say not today. So we discard him, but we soothe the fatigue. So that's good. So we got another whistle. And we've cleared him. Is there anything else we want to do? Oh, we have to trigger, of course, the effects. So we suffer a fatigue. Because the midday sun, and nothing happens here because there's not another romping latrino. Okay. Can we be lucky 3 turns in a row? We shall see. All right, so we're going to rest, so it means we're going to refresh. When it comes to here, oh, this has to shuffle again because we've got the reshuffle icon. Okay. 3 go on there, so it's going to flip over to a perfect day. We are going to draw a card. Got bold, and then we're going to draw this Tidewater Muckets. Okay. Being prey, water, food. 0 presence. We can use our fitness to pry it open to soothe some fatigue. Okay, well that's pretty good for us. And it can also, I think, distract the latrinal if it needs to. Okay, well I think, to be honest, that's what we're going to do first. It's fitness plus focus, and we do have a lot of that. Yeah, so there really is no target number here. They're easy enough to harvest. But, that said, we might as well put some extra into it and hold on to our other fitness just in case. So this is going to be equal to, this is our reason. So it equals 3 that's in our pool, so we're putting 4 towards this. It's unlikely we're going to fail, so 3, that's good. So that goes there. We're going to pry it open, put a harm on it. And then Soothe 2 Fatigue, so we get 2 cards back. Field Journal and Hiking Stave. Okay, so we can only put out one more. So see these pips here on these cards, on equipment cards. So this 2 here, so you have a maximum of 5 encumbrance, so we've already got a 1 and a 2 here. Before we deal with that any further, so the Mountain Challenge, we were not adding progress, so it's not going to do anything. If there's an active predator, exhaust it. So basically, the Latrinal is going to chomp on the muckets, just as we did. It was attracted. It saw us eating them and was like really into it. And now that it's exhausted, it's not going to do anything else. Okay. What else can we do here? We could take the tributary stream to actually move our token up here so we're closer to our ability to search. Which may help us. Or we just take 2 more fatigue by doing a search. I think we don't really need to, so we are just going to commit 2 and 1. So we're committing 3 effort to do a search. So we're going to take 2 fatigue. Okay. So we succeed with 2. So we get to look at the top 2. The bubble, fresh blue kelpweed. Neither of these things that we want. We want a person, so it's going to go on the bottom. We're going to draw a card. Hey! We made the right decision. Okay. So Elder Murtok Growl, who's entry 51. Well, well, what have we here? Elder Murtok sets down his fishing pole and walks towards you. The ranger's famous juniper biscuits. The smell alone is almost enough to make me forget about our troubles. If only we could solve our problems with baked goods. Clear him to learn about what's troubling him. Okay, so once we're able to get this last one off of us, then we are successful. First of all, of course, we have to finish what's happening here. We did not put any progress on anything, and it's exhausted, so it will not do anything. Well, let's hope we get a +1. Nope. But that's all right. So nothing happens. We spend those resources. Sun effects, no sun effects, and this is going to have to reshuffle. Okay. Nothing much more we can do or that we want to do at this stage. So we're going to rest. Things on exhaust. 1 comes off of here. And we draw a card. Okay. Good. So it's a connection. Which is what we want. So, right off the bat, we're just going to try and give away this biscuit. So we're going to commit to effort. Let's hope it's not a -1. It is not. Okay. So we get rid of our last biscuit. We clear him. So we do it in order of effects here. Clear him, 51.5. Elder Murtaugh shakes his head. It's hard to think of any problem greater than quiet. That massive bearded lynx has been stalking our shores for weeks. She nearly ate someone just the other day. Do you think you could get her to leave us alone? Agree to help gain the Lure Quiet mission. Reminder, find Quiet in the Valley set and attach her face down to the mission card. And you choose this option only if you don't have another lure or confront mission. B, not today. Discard Elder Grawl. Each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. Well, we don't need to soothe the fatigue because, well, we have a lot in our discard. And we are now triggering the end of this mission with the Biscuit Basket. However, this is a good order for him to come out in because this way we get his mission and we can hold on to the mission between sessions. So we're going to get Lure Quiet out of the box. So go to our missions. There's Lure. And you may notice these all the cards in the base set fit really nicely into a Marvel Champions expansion box. The only thing is, of course, that the dividers can't really see them when they're sleeved, but so be it. I'm getting used to where everything is. So now we have to look in the valley. There we go. So I'm not going to spoil myself too much about this. It's a giant predator lynx that we need to try and make go away. So we're going to take that as a mission. We'll note it that we got on day 1. Lure Quiet. Okay, so we'll keep that aside. That sticks with us. So the point of this one then is locate one of the local mega predators, which is the one underneath. When a prey is cleared, set it aside. Arrive at a new location while there is 5 or more total presence of prey set aside. Okay, so the idea, I guess, is you're hunting for prey to make lures to lure out Quiet. So we'll have this in our back pocket if it's something that we want to do. Don't know if we're in a position really to be hunting a lot of prey, but when a prey is cleared, so maybe it's not even us that has to do that. Okay, we'll see how that goes, but that's an ongoing mission that we can work with in the future. But for now, we finished off Biscuit Basket. So 1.02. With an empty basket, you continue down the path until you come across Calypsa and Cal resting beside a bubbling stream. Calypsa gestures towards the basket. How did it go? She asks. You tell her of the people that you met in your travels today and how each was appreciative of High Pin Pot's bakery. Calypsa stands and makes a show of studying you closely. And no crumbs. I'm impressed, Cal. I believe this settles our bet. He figured you would have snuck a few yourself. Cal looks at you suspiciously. You need to learn a little. Live a little. He says. Complete the biscuit delivery mission and return the biscuit basket to the collection. Each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. Okay. So we got familiar ground and persuasive. From down the path comes the sound of melodic whistling. Before long, a man wearing many layers of cloaks and walking with the aid of an ornate conduit follows. As he passes, he tips his wide-brimmed hat in your direction. Good day to you, friends. Good day, Master A.L., Calypso replies. Lone Tree's hanging gardens are thirsty. They'd be grateful for some rain. Fear not, my dear Calypso, for there is no shaper more skilled at stirring clouds than I. By the time you return, those gardens will be thoroughly satiated. With that, the shaper continues down the path. He resumes his whistling as he passes from sight. Cal shakes his head. That fool is overly impressed by his own abilities, he says. Trouble will come of it, mark my words. Calypso nods and turns to you. It's time you should be on your way. The village elders often have tasks that require the help of the rangers. I recommend that you seek them out on your travels. I also know that Cordo would like some help dealing with the caustic mulcher that roams the woodlands. I'm not sure what he has in mind, but you can seek him out at Lone Tree Station if you're interested. Farewell. With that, Calypso and Cal disappear into the forest, leaving you to explore the valley on your own. Okay, so we've successfully delivered the biscuits. That's our first mission over and done with. So we can cross out, I'm going to cross out all the progress here because we did it all. And now we have a new one for luring quiet. And our current position is White Sky. And the terrain is Lakeshore. So basically we're deciding at this point to camp for the night. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've really had, what, 7 more turns to go. Probably not enough to make it. As it was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's not really much of a chance of being able to complete another full mission, especially not trying to deal with our friend Quiet, or our Corey. So what'll happen next time when we go into day 2? We'll have rested. Time will advance. We'll be in day 2. We'll be at this location, and we can decide where we want to go from there. I don't think we'll be going back to Lone Tree Station to talk to Cordo about the caustic mulcher, because we already have a lure or confront mission here. So I don't think we're going to need 2 of them. I'll think about it. I don't really know. We may just decide to move on to somewhere new and exciting, or if we end up if we stick around here for a bit and we meet up with the other 2 characters, the fisherman and the boat captain, we could make use of their ability to get we could get a mission to go over to Golden Shore in one session, and if we're lucky, even just take the boat straight across. So that might be worthwhile for our next section, or our next session. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this game. It worked out pretty well. We didn't really get munched on by a lot of predators. They mostly sort of took care of themselves and were occupied with other things around us. Let me know what you think of the game. If you're playing it, let me know how your campaign's going. Again, this is just day 1. We have a lot of days still to go through. And although the weather's very nice right now, in the end it may not be so great. So we shall see. So again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.